beautiful people. My name is Asman Rose, and I want to say it is a blessing to be here in front of you as we sit down and watch GBS this morning on this magical Monday. Now, as we're going to watch the sunrise, that's a hint right there, as we groom ourselves for the day. Now, that's two hints for you right there about what's to come on today's show. But before I get into all that good stuff, let's take a stop at the news desk for this morning's headlines. Thanks, news team, and don't go too far because we'll be right back. Alright, so first things first, we are starting off with Ruth Leos. She is the founder of Sunrise Upholstery. So let's see what she had to say. Good morning, beautiful people. I am joined here with a lovely woman right next to me, Ruth Leos. And she is the founder of Sunrise Upholstery. So how are you doing this morning, Ruth?
I'm doing good.
That's what we love to hear around here. Now, tell us a little bit more about Sunrise Upholstery. How did it all get started?
Well, it all started when I wasn't working due to COVID, and a friend introduced me to upholstery, and I kind of fell in love with it, seeing that, you can transform an old sofa into a new one and at a cheaper cost. So I started working with him and, putting out my work in Facebook groups, and people started contacting me, over the Christmas. So I got more jobs for the Christmas, and it just came up with the idea that I'll turn it into a business.
So was there any love for upholstery prior to this venture?
Well, I had no idea what upholstery was until he introduced me to it. So doing that work, I fell in love with it at that time.
That's what you love to hear. When you love something and you're doing it for your job, you never feel like you're working a day in your life, right?
That's true.
Exactly. So tell us a little bit more about the upholstery itself. How long does it take?
Well, to recover an old sofa, it will take about 10 days max, less depend on the workload, so it's about that time frame.
Do y'all match materials by any chance?
Well, normally the customer gets the cloth, the fabric, and we just do the work for them because we like people to choose their color, so it will be their preference. We don't like to choose colors for people, but it's up to them, So, yeah.
So if they want your opinion, you can give it. If not, they can give you the material. You just tell them how much, and you do it for them.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, that is perfect. Now, is this all you do, or do you have other trades that you're working?
Well, I actually do. I'm a health aide, and I also do makeup, and a little bit of nails.
Okay, so as you can see, Ruth is someone who is multifaceted. She does a lot because it's very good to keep yourself busy. It's not very good to stay home and do nothing. But finding your way in all these avenues helps so much, getting that creativity out. One last thing before we go, is there anything you'd like to tell the audience about you and your work?
Well, I always believe honesty is key. I consider myself to be very reliable and trustworthy in the business I do,
Thanks for staying with us, everybody. Do you have a dog or an animal of some sort that needs maybe grooming or training? I have the perfect person for you. So let's check him out. Good morning, beautiful people. I am joined here with the legend himself, Akim Legend. And how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, Miss Allison.
That is what we love to hear. Now, I see on your shirt you have a beautiful logo of your beautiful dog, and I see it says Bosche. So tell us a little bit more about Bosche.
Okay, well, Boscha is a company I always had in mind for. From the time I was a little boy, I always said I wanted to have a business where I focusing on dogs. I always had a passion for dogs, so I needed to make a business focusing on dogs. So this is where Bosche came in. And with me being from St. Lucia, especially Babono, Creole is a big aspect of our culture. So that's why it's not good dog, it is Bosche. So as you can notice by the logo, we have all the St. Lucian colors, blue, white, black and yellow. So we pay special homage to our island.
I love how you can incorporate the 758. You know, we are repping our country. We're not just leaving it behind. We have the colors, we have the 758, we have everything. We have the Creole. I love that. So tell me a little bit more about what you do exactly in Bosche.
Okay, well at Bosche we do dog grooming, dog training, and we also provide dog treats and dog products. So practically everything you need for a dog, we're the guys. But we don't do vaccines or deworming as yet. We have to get certified, but that's something to come in the future.
Okay, so he's giving us a lot of tidbits about what's to come. So, you talk about the dog grooming. Tell us a little bit more about that. Are you working by yourself? Are you the one doing the grooming?
Okay, well, I'm not the one doing the grooming. I do assist, but that's be Miss Tiana Joseph, and she's the one who specializes in the dog grooming. I'm the one for the dog training. We more focus on poodles, and we'll get the occasional large breeds like shepherds, pit bulls, and so on. Yeah.
So, when you talk about dog grooming, what does that entail?
Well, normally when you have furry dogs, you will have a lot of matting where the hair would lock up, making locks and so on, or you could have a lot of shedding during the seasons. So people would normally want their dog to be inside. So with the excessive hair during the snowing season or the cold time, they would come to us and we would remove their hair or reduce on the amount of fur being dropped by the dog, and that's pretty much it. And if you want your dog to look nice, you know, you want to bring the dog out by the beach, you want to flex your dog, we're the guys.
Okay, so guys, I know a lot of y'all like to flex your dogs, like to flex your breed, y'all like to flex everything. So, you know, if y'all want your dogs to look good when you're flexing them, check out Bosche. Yeah. So, you do the cutting of the fur, you do trimming of nails, and stuff like that.
Yes.
So, talk to me a little bit more about the dog training.
Okay, well, the dog training, I like to specialize in obedience. And I'm starting to get into the protection. Now, the protection is a little more tricky because you want to have a dog that's all-rounder, meaning that it could be with your family members, but it knows that moment when something goes off, it could switch like that. So you have to be able to have certain dog breeds or certain dogs with certain mental tendencies to have that ability. So that's why I kind of tend to stay away from the training, not as much as yet, but I'm more focused on obedience. Now, the obedience, I'm more focused on positive reinforcement by associating a word with a movement. So just say I could have a treat in my hand, I would do something called luring, where I put the treat above the dog to maybe by its nose, have it follow the treat and make it adjust its body to a certain position, such as a sit, and as soon as it goes to that position, I say the word and I reward the dog. So that way the dog associates that word with that action and rewarded for doing that action.
Okay, that is such a smart way of putting it. I never thought of it like that, because you know we like to say sit, and when the dog not sitting, we like, why are you not sitting? Just sit, sit. You understand? Yeah. So it's seen that you reward for positive behavior. I love that. I love that. So tell us a little bit more about those treats.
Okay, now the treats we have been keeping it a little hush hush, but right now they're feeling a little confident. We just did some teaching. There's a lot to come with them. We have 3 different types of treats. We have the heavy chewers, perfect for young puppies. You know, like when you just get a puppy, you want to bite on everything. So we want a little treat to distract them, but yet still give them all the positive nutrients. That would be it. Heavy chewers. It has peanut butter, some other stuff like pumpkin to help with bowel movement, so it won't be a solid stool. So all that good. And the other one we have is spot. Now the spot would be air fried chicken jerky, where it would be air frying chicken, and it would have a more appetizing flavor, and we more will be using that one for training. So that's what we'll be using for the positive reinforcement. So when your dog do a certain trick or so on, you could give it the spot jerky, and it'll do. And the last one we have is mature. Now the mature is perfectly for adult and elderly dogs. It could be used for all dogs as well, but it's for the adult and elderly, and it's similar to the heavy chewers, but it's softer. So, and smaller to enjoy. For the older dogs, you know, some of the teeth may be missing. You know, you have to be sensitive with them. You cannot be too hard on them. So, yeah, so that's the mature one, and that's the free treats we have so far. But there'll be more coming up, but for now, it's free.
I love the fact that you are paying homage to not only the young ones and not only the ones who are athletic or doing things so athleisure. We are looking at the older dogs because I know a lot of people out there like to neglect them. Although, we know their teeth fall out and stuff like that. So we need to give them a little extra care. And seeing that you can provide them with these little treats that are softer and nicer for them, it just makes me so happy that they are all taken care of. So, is there anything you want to say to the people just before we close?
Well, what I'd like to say to people is that soon for the Christmas, we'll be having a raffle going on. It will be approximately $5 where you could help us out by developing our products, and you could get some prizes as trips with Father Nature Adventures where you could get to go and snorkel for free. We could have spa treatments, some dog products as well available, and more to come, but it'll be all posted on our social media. So follow us at BoschShare758 on Instagram, Facebook, and you should see everything. And other thanks to Sanusha for supporting us throughout, for making us reach from where we are to where we are now. We haven't reached to where we're aiming for, but I could see the steady progress, so I appreciate that one always.
I can see it too because seeing that you are already well-rounded and you know what you want and you know what you're going for, it all makes for a smooth sailing. Yeah. So I want to say thank you for joining me here today. And guys, I'll see you in one moment.
Good morning, DBS family, and welcome to another episode of DBS's Lookbook. And I am Vanessa Henry Long, your certified image consultant and personal stylist. There is something magical, alluring, and powerful about fragrances. Let me tell you, having a signature scent speaks to your personality, your lifestyle, and just evokes memories of a lifetime. I'm pretty sure some of you would identify with a particular whiff of scent and say, that reminds me of when I used to go to school. Or maybe, that scent smells like my grandmother. And even, that scent reminds me of my first date. Yes. This is what fragrance does. This is the magic in fragrance, which speaks to emotions and tells a story. So guess what? Today on the Lookbook, it's going to be a bit different as I will help you identify the perfect scent for you, which is your signature scent. So how do you identify with having a signature scent? Or how do you have that perfect scent for you? Sometimes we say there's nothing as the perfect thing, but I believe a signature scent, it is the perfect fragrance for you. So just how do you identify which fragrance goes well with you? Let's do some homework, or rather, let me educate you on what is the best way to start off by having a scent that is perfect for you. It's all about chemistry. Yes, fragrances, in order to have that best scent that goes for you, it needs to go well with what we call your body chemistry, your pH balance, those natural oils and essences in your skin that would react very much, I should say, nicely with that particular scent. So again, you would sometimes hear friends say, I love that scent and that's the best scent on the market. And you decide, okay, let me head into that shop and get that scent. But guess what? That scent smells awful on you. That is because it doesn't go well with your body chemistry and there's no connection with you and that scent. This is why one of the key things in understanding what scents go well with you is knowing what you like, what you don't like. And how best can you do that is by trying on that scent. So how do you know what goes well with you or not? You have to try it. It's not about figuring it out and just looking at the notes online. Yes, there's also that as well. But you can have an understanding of what you generally like. For example, me, I am into what I would call fruity floral scents. I'm a girly girl, so yes, I love sweet scents. I like fruity floral scents, and I can also see somewhat of spicy, a little spicy, and citrusy scents. Yes, I love those. But there are some persons who would tell me, no, I am more into powdery scents. I love more scents that are warm or extremely strong, or what I would call woody type scents or musky scents. This is not for me. But again, there are some persons who are into those types of scents. So understanding at least this basic, whether you are a fruity floral person, a citrusy person, a spicy, powdery, warm in terms of musk, understanding just that can help you into getting your way in choosing that perfect fragrance for you. Another thing that is important to know is the concentration of the fragrance. For example, I love pretty bottles, and that's a good thing, but it's not just about the pretty bottle, but the scent within that fragrance. Some fragrances can be an eau de toilette, an eau de cologne, an eau de parfum, a parfum, and a pure parfum extract. Now you may be wondering, what are all of those things, Vanessa? Yes, these are the concentration levels of the fragrance. So it doesn't just start by knowing what you like. What you like is important, but also how much you would like that fragrance to last on you. Some persons will say to me, I don't want anything too strong that will clog up my nose. I would rather something very lightweight. And if you do that, what you can go for is an eau de cologne, or for the men, an aftershave, instead of an eau de toilette and an eau de parfum. The highest concentration is actually the parfum, which lasts for more than 10 hours. Then you have the eau de toilette, which is about 8 to 13% concentration as it relates to the composition of the fragrance extract. Then, of course, you have the middle one, which is the eau de parfum, which most persons tend to go for because it has a duration for about, I would say, about 8 hours, 8 hours or more. And this one has a concentration level of between 15 to 30% of the fragrance, the pure fragrance extract. So that is also a key component into selecting your signature scent. Now, some persons would tell me, Vern, you know what? I am into loving French fragrances. So I'm all about the Chanels, the Givenchy's, the Jean Paul Gaultier, the designer brands. And then some other persons will tell you, no, I think I rather the Italians. So I'm more into the Versace's, the Giorgio Armani's, etc. And then you may well like some persons who will be like, okay, I'm more into the American brands like the Ralph Lauren's and the Calvin Klein's. It doesn't matter. Any brand you decide to go for, it's up to you. What is key in noting is that that particular brand and the fragrance composition speaks to your style and your personality, and of course goes well with your body chemistry. So that was a lot, right? It's a lot of things to think of when selecting a fragrance. You thought it was that easy, right? I know, but there's a little more to it than that. Another area that is also important as it relates to selecting a scent that is signature to you is understanding the various notes of the fragrances, and that is what you call the olfactory pyramid in fragrances. So as soon as you spray a fragrance, so for example, I have this fragrance. This is one of my favorite fragrance. It's called Very Good Girl by Carolina Herrera. As soon as I spray this fragrance on, the first note that I would take is the top note. Now, this is not the true scent that I will get for a few hours down the line. So normally the first note will tell an indication of whether you like that scent. And this is what you call the first impression of the fragrance. Then a few minutes later, about 20 minutes later, when you smell that fragrance again, what you're getting there is what we call the heart note or the middle note. At that point, you will get an understanding of whether you like that fragrance or not. But then comes an hour or 2 hours later, and the scent changes again, and it's a totally different scent. At this point, this is what you call the base note, and this would give you an indication of whether that scent is for you or not. So this is why it makes sense when shopping for fragrances or your signature scent to take time, to not rush it. Take time, head into the stores, spray that fragrance on a card first. Then if you like it on the card, you will get that top note. You then take it and you spray it on your body. But there are specific places that you must spray that fragrance so it can last and it can create that good impression. For instance, behind the neck area, and what we call the pulse points, into your arms for the ladies, into your décolletage, and even behind your knees. Yes, behind your knees. So don't go be doing that and wasting your fragrance. No, we're not doing that, trust me. And the fragrances, I know some of them can be a bit pricey, so it is best to spray them at the pulse points. Okay guys, so I'm teaching you something today. Do not waste your fragrance. It is also wise when you get that scent, especially when trying that scent, do not go rubbing off the scent. Like, I don't know why persons do that, but you finally rub off the scent. No, you actually killing the molecules in the scent. So what to do? Allow it to sip through the skin and enjoy that natural oil and essence to come out, and then a few hours later you take a whiff at it and see if you really like it or not. So I'm hoping that you are taking notes as you head into the stores, especially for the festive season. I know many persons love fragrances as gift ideas, and this makes the perfect gift. But in order for you to know what you like, you must try it. So pay attention guys into selecting that perfect scent for you, and even you can share that scent with a friend and say, you know what, I sprayed this scent and let me tell you, I love this scent and I enjoyed everything about it. It smells good, it smells nice, it goes well with me. But you can have more than one signature scent. For instance, I have scents that I would wear to go to work. If you're a doctor, I can't imagine you wearing a scent that is extremely heavy. I have scents that I would wear when I go out with, you know, the hubby. I have scent that I would wear when I go out with my girlfriends. And I also have scents that maybe I would go and wear if I'm just heading into town or maybe in the supermarket, etc. So you can have more than one signature scent, but the key thing to note is to experience that scent. And when you wear your fragrance, take time into getting that right scent for you. I know there are a lot of places to go out there when it comes to shopping for fragrances. You can shop online, you can shop in stores, but it's also important to spray that fragrance on you when you are selecting your scent. I know maybe a lot of you would know that I work in fragrance. Yes, I do work at Duty Free Caribbean, and I kind of still had to give Duty Free Caribbean a little plug in there because this is where I first and foremost fell in love with fragrances. And I know that just like me, if you have a signature scent, you will feel all romantic and lovey-dovey about it, because that's what fragrance does. It brings out the best in you and creates the emotion and the storytelling, and of course allowing you to be the best version of you. So take time guys to select that signature scent, and I hope you did take your tips and enjoy this episode of the Lookbook. See you later. Bye.
Alright guys, that brings us to the end of our show. Now as we're wrapping things up, I want to say this. Have an amazing day. Today is Monday, the start of an amazing week, so do not let nobody bring your spirits down. We are rolling into that festive season, so ensure you tell somebody something lovely today, because we want to show everyone we care. So guys, I'll see you tomorrow morning bright and early. Have an amazing day. Bye.